Welcome to All About the Bay. I'm your host, Paula Joy. Every week we interview some really powerful people in the Bay Area, small business owners who are making a change in the lives of other people in the Bay Area. And today I have with me Leslie. And Leslie is a life coach, right? Tells you make, how to magnify or maximize your performance, in all aspects of your life, maybe in business or in just your life. Okay, so I'm excited to talk to her today, and I'm sure you will learn a thing or two, just like I will. So welcome. Okay,
Thank
Leslie,
you.
very quickly. So you are a life coach. Did I say it right?
I am not a life coach, so
Okay, I made that mistake there. That's good. Performance coach.
yeah, no, I help people change from the inside out. Do you want to start the introduction again? Only because
No, that's
I
okay. That's totally fine. That's good. Yeah. People. Yeah. Hmm.
so I am an expert in helping people change from the inside out so that they can accomplish their goals. And life coach has such a, narrow-minded, people think they know what a life coach is. So I don't connect well with life coach. I started as a performance coach, but since then I have done so many trainings and learned so much about the unconscious mind through hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming and theta healing and time therapy. I have so surpassed coaching as the only technology that I use. I use lots of modern technologies and I just help people get what they want. And so much fun.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand that. Maybe you could narrow it down a little bit. So, is it everything? I want my life to be better, and I come to you, or I want to perform better as a mortgage broker, as a real estate agent, or what? I come to you and I sit down with you. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so people have goals in all areas of their life. There's usually about 6, 7 areas of life. Like you have your family life, you have your career, you have your finances, you have your relationships, you have your spiritual life, right? So in those areas, you know, people set goals. Like I want to be more patient might be a spiritual goal, or it could be a family goal, depending on, how you phrase it. So I help people get what they want in their life and their goals. So, whether that's to be able to afford a house in the Bay Area, whether it is to save a marriage, whether it's to create a relationship, like a dating relationship, whatever it is for that person, losing weight, um, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to start with the inside and make those changes because we've all tried willpower to change our finances or to change our weight or to change something. And there's only so much willpower that comes around, and we are constantly being programmed to have exactly what we have. So what we have to do is change the programming on the inside so that we can create something different.
So in the Bay Area, you mentioned being able to afford a house. In the Bay Area, we know a lot of homeless people and stuff like that. Even some people who are gainfully employed, you still see them sleeping under the bridges. So that person comes to you, say, "Man, I'm tired of this life. Okay, I want you to help me." And you say it starts from inside. Now, just tell me what you do in that case.
Yeah, it starts on the inside with what is in someone that they prefer the freedom that over the security, right? So we are all programmed all the time how to deal with our finances, and if you imagine all the way back to when you're a little kid and you got your first allowance, if you put 10% of that away, um, how many of us would be homeless? We spend more, we're programmed all the time to spend more than we have. We're just programmed that way. And in order to make a difference, we have to program ourselves differently to learn how we can manage, our belief systems, how we manage our values, what's important to us. My aunt chose to live on the street. My grandparents had given her a house and she wanted to be homeless. She wanted the freedom of being homeless.
Hmm.
So, you know, homeless people aren't the people who generally come for coaching, aren't the people that really necessarily want help changing their life. Um, But certainly, if a homeless person came to me today and said, I want to change my life, I would totally, start at the belief level. Like, how did we get here? And let's make a plan for making the life change that we want to make.
So you mentioned there's 7 areas, right? So part of it is spiritual. So which one are you seeing people coming to you more often than others?
Um, Gosh, a lot of people have come for relationship issues. Right now, I have a lot. I have a weight loss program, so a lot of people coming for their health or weight loss. Um, seen a lot of people come. It's interesting because most people come for one situation or one goal, but find out that they really want something else. They're driven towards this goal, but when you really question them and talk to them, they really want something else. And so we have a little discovery session and figure out what it is they want and what beliefs are holding us back, what programming and beliefs are keeping us where we are.
So with the COVID-19 uh, um, crisis that we have, whatever that is called, have you seen uh, the need for a certain aspect greater now than it was before?
Yeah, of course. The biggest need I've seen is there's a lot of health need as far as people, the crisis left us in stress, right? And so what do we do in stress? We revert to our default programming and we overeat because we're soothing ourselves. So we self-soothe with some of our default habits and programming. So, some people, uh, I have a lot of people that overeat and are trying to get the weight off. And some people had a lot of financial difficulties, and so now they're climbing back out of that hole. They want to make something different, like that doesn't happen to them again. Um, have some people with addictions that got worse over the pandemic. So, you know, um, in a space of a crisis, we generally go to default programming. So it's
Mm.
really a good idea to work on our inside programming.
So it looks like you're helping people quite a bit. Okay, so how long have you been doing this?
Since 2009.
2009. Okay, that's quite a while. And what made you go into this?
Oh, good question. So my son was in, I had a whole, I had the perfect storm in life, right? Within the space of 5 weeks, I went from a family, marriage with 4 children and the dog to just me and my son looking at each other going, what just happened to our family?
Mm.
And my youngest son was in a treatment program at 11. And so if you're in a really good treatment program, the whole family goes. So we all went through a treatment program.
Mm.
And it was there that I heard of performance coaching as outside of sports.
Mm.
And I also learned a lot of principles about taking responsibility for your life. I was kind of living in default. Um, and so being intentional and taking responsibility for your life and choosing what it is you want to create. So out of that perfect storm, I sat down and figured out what I wanted to create in my life and you know, um, went from being unemployed as a real estate appraiser in
Mm.
2008.
Oh, that's what you
Um,
were? Okay.
that's what I was doing. Um,
They're getting paid a lot now.
I went from being a real estate appraiser to, rechanging everything and I was unemployed because of real estate in that time. And I just changed everything and created the career I wanted to create and moved to the Bay Area and met someone and now I live in a beautiful place overlooking the ocean and
Mm. Molten
overlooking the
Hill?
water, not the ocean, the water.
Wait,
A lake, not an
a
ocean.
lake, yeah, because
Um,
you guys don't have you don't have the ocean in Molten
no,
Hill.
we don't have an ocean. I think about the ocean. Someday I like to live
Well, you can go
overlooking
to
the
Santa Cruz, okay?
Pacific. Close. We live close to the ocean,
Yes.
but overlooking the lake. And I just got very intentional about my life, and then I learned all these techniques. And every time I like, how can I create this? I just go learn something new. And it all starts with your beliefs about yourself and life. And um, during the pandemic, and of course in the last 2 years for other reasons, um, we're getting programmed. Um, we're getting programmed by news media and social media and a lot of things. And you're only as good as your programming. Everybody knows this in the Bay Area about computers, right? The computers are only as good as their programming. But
Right.
this computer right here is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just watch television and expect to have a really well designed computer that'll work for you, right? You have to program it. You have to get rid of the bugs in the programming, got to get rid of the lies in the programming, and you got to be intentional about what you want to create in your own belief system, your own values, so you can create the external.
Mm. So are you advising people not to watch TV and social media? Or what's your take?
Well, it depends on what their goal is.
Mm-hmm.
If you want what everyone has, watch TV. That's what everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
You want what everyone has, eat what everyone eats. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it depends on what you want. I have no judgment. People
Right.
can have what they want,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you want something different, then let's talk.
That's good. Okay, that's great. So since 2009, you've been in it since that time. It's like 12 years now, looks like. Okay, and so you enjoying it?
I love it. It's yeah, I totally love it.
Much
And
better
I
than appraisal?
huh? Oh yeah, definitely better than appraisal.
Hmm.
I mean, I still love math and I
Hmm.
still love homes, but you know,
So tell me why you enjoy it more than math or going out and appraising properties. Why do you like it? Like because you're changing people's lives or helping people realize, deprogram themselves or what?
yeah, seeing people make a change in their life that they and seeing the miracles that happen, right? It's miracles that happen when you change the inside and your external starts to change.
Hmm.
And of course, changing my own life, seeing, changing a few things and seeing my income triple and then changing some other things and see it more than double again. I mean, that's huge, right?
Hmm.
Um, and seeing that happen for other people too, or even better, right? Seeing people realize again that they have a choice and they don't have to live in default.
Hmm.
Seeing people become, where I got nothing and I can't do anything, to being resourceful and beginning to have this, like, their vision open up so they can see the resources that are available to them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because what happens is we believe this programming, and then when we believe it, it like shuts off
Hmm.
the possible and shuts off all those resources. So when you change the beliefs, all of a sudden, oh, what's possible?
Interesting. So what are some of the highlights you've seen in these 12 years that you've been doing this?
Well, I saw someone, this one woman came to me. She just wanted to feel better about herself, and she wanted to help her child in special ed.
Hmm.
And she's like, I don't know how to help my daughter feel better about herself when I don't feel very good about myself
Hmm.
either. So I can't give her what I don't have.
Hmm.
And so we did a little process, and she had this one belief, and we were kind of working on this one belief. And in her words, she said she found a wellspring of self-worth.
Hmm. Really?
And so, I mean, that just brought tears to my eyes. Like, I'm guiding this person. I'm like, what do you see? And she goes, that's the wellspring of self-worth. I mean, if you go from having no self-worth and
Right.
wanting to give it to your child and finding a wellspring of it, like, it's source. A wellspring is the source
Right.
of self-worth. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Oh wow.
Um, so things like that just really,
Mm.
you know, having people say, I had another lady, she did a couple things with me, and then she had to go do some errands, and she went with her daughter to back to to do something with her, pick up their dog from their her ex-husband's house.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got in the car afterward, and her daughter goes, "What happened to you? You are like a new person. You are no longer weird around dad."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Man, I'm just not." She's no longer angry, and you know, she's no longer angry and sad and hurt about this, previous relationship. She's over it, right? And I mean, so much so that her daughter's asking her who she is, right? So when you change the inside, people start going, "Wow, who are you? Like you're a new person." And
Mm-hmm.
it's not that we're a new person; it's that the real person from within gets to come out
Mm-hmm.
because no longer under fear and anxiety and all this programming of lies that we get about ourselves.
Well, that's amazing. Okay, cool. I know we need to go. So I'm sure a lot of people need that. Okay, like that revelation, that miracle that you're helping them with, right? And I can see that you're smiling just as we're talking about it. I'm sure that we could talk for an hour on this, but both of us have to go. And so, how do people contact you? I know you do it. They don't have to come to your office, but you can do it over the phone and stuff like that. You can do it on Zoom, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, how
So
do people reach you?
uh, yeah, so I'm on Facebook at Leslie Gunterson is my last name. You can go to lesliegunterson.com is my website, and I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook. I'm pretty easy to find. I think I'm the only Leslie Gunterson that missing people.
Is that Swedish or what? Or
Huh?
Is that what name is that? Last name is Swedish, Northern European or what?
Yeah, it's I think Swedish
Yeah,
Gunterson, but it's spelled differently. So, yeah,
yeah. Okay, Leslie, it was a pleasure having you today on my show. I really look
thank
forward
you.
to maybe sending some people your way. Well, me.
Great. I'd love it. Yeah, I'd love to help anyone.
Right. Thank you so
Make a
much.
difference.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, bye now.
Thank you, Paul. Thank
Uh,
you for
uh-huh. Bye bye.